I haven't talked about my personal education history a lot in my life on the stream or in any of my videos on YouTube. And, you know, in all honesty, that's because there's not really a whole lot to talk about. Graduated high school, fucked off for approximately 10 years. And then tried to go back to school while working full time. And after 5 years, I gave up without an associate's because it was a lot of work. It was a lot of shit to take on. So recently I've been wanting to, you know, get back into the education realm of things. I found this, what seems to be a free university online. So I took this class, and you're our professor slash dean slash owner of the entire school wanted to teach me about his perspectives of sexuality. So luckily he puts his courses up online, and we're going to delve into this right now.
Well, hello, everybody. This is
the
fireside chat I have every week. This is my bulldog who, at about the 10-minute point, will begin snoring.
See, that's when he wins me over, because who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
I very strongly recommend that parents show this to their kids, just as they do PragerU videos.
He wants parents to show this to their kids, right? Like all other PragerU videos, okay? Let's take a quick little gander here. And these are meant for your kids. Let's not forget that, okay? A father's question for Black Lives Matter. Cool. There's a fundraiser attached to that one. Interesting. Love versus blood.
Hi, everybody.
The case for adoption. Good topics for kids. The key to understanding America, desire for power, fame, and sex, lack of courage and wisdom. These are all just topically, I mean, I want infants in on these conversations. So yeah, PragerU, make sure your kids watch all these videos, 100%.
But here's the point. This is not for little kids, whereas almost every...
He just said, bring all of your kids into... Oh my God.
But I would never have had to have given this talk to my grandparents or their parents. Why would that be? In other words, I believe that my grandmother understood male sexual nature better than the average female gets a PhD in sociology or English or certainly women's studies or gender.
Wait, what? You just said, my grandma understands male sexuality more than a female PhD in like English studies and shit like that. What point is he making right? What is happening? What is he talking about? Try to figure out what he's talking about.
And it's an amazing thing. In other words, you were actually taught to be ignorant at college.
That's what they teach you.
Many subjects. This is one of them. Beginning with the lie that I was told when I was in college that men and women are basically the same.
Okay, this is an important distinction. The lie, so sure, he's already fucking throwing it in a direction. He's premising it with a lie. He's not allowing you to objectively think for yourself. He's fucking... The lie that he was told in college that men and women are underline basically, not exactly, basically the same. Basically. So it's a lie to say that, look, at the end of the day, like, we are humans, and yes, there are many differences between us, but at the end of the day, we are basically the same.
If men and women are basically the same, then the whole question is absurd. What do you mean male sexual nature? There's no such thing.
There is, because they're basically the same, which implies that there's an absolute fucking difference in the first place. Basic does not mean exactly. They are not exactly the same. They're basically the same. We are fucking humans, right? We operate on the same general fucking construct of reality and whatnot. Yes. Are we emotionally different? Yes. Do we fucking have different experiences in life? Like this motherfucker, like to him, it's like, unless I'm perioding out of my penis every month, like we're so fucking different. It's ridiculous.
If you believe that men and women have the same natures.
See, now we're not saying basically the same natures anymore. Now we're saying men and women have the same natures. That's not what was fucking said. That's not the premise you're operating off of. Like you're literally evolving the topic to support your general fucking perspective. And you can't do that. You got to be aware of that shit. It can totally happen accidentally. Like you can be unaware and fucking find yourself being biased to your own perspective. But like this is so like, it's not biasness. It's like justifying. It's justifying. Look, I'm a little bit racist and possibly sexist. And you know what? In the perfect world, maybe I could sexually abuse a woman, you know? But like, that doesn't make me a bad guy. It doesn't make me a bad guy. It's just...
If you believe that men and women have the same natures, then how do you explain that all this harassment stuff and all this Me Too stuff and all of that is all in 99.999% of it is all in one direction, male against female? Why aren't 50% of the harassers female? How come females aren't just walking over to men and touching them in an inappropriate manner?
So this is a weird argument he's making here, where he's more or less admitting that there are people like him. Like it's borderline like him. Because I wouldn't justify a fucking dude walking up to someone and groping them and shit like that. Like, that's not cool.
Bro, not cool, not cool.
But this dude's like, wait, why aren't women just, like, walking up to dudes and, like, grabbing their dicks and shit? It's because they're not as horny as us, right? Like, he's rationalizing. He's literally figuring out a way to rationalize, like, his personal sexual nature, and then he's going to go and generalize it amongst everyone.
The left, you have to understand, does not believe that the search for truth is a search worth making.
No. The left, the radical, scientific, evil fucking left, no. Look, they would rather just believe in, like, God and angels and fairy tales and like talking snakes and burning bushes. You're right. Like they're not interested in the truth in any way, shape, or form. That's wait a minute. That's confusing, right? That's hang on. I think something's backwards.
Whatever they imagine. Mm-hmm. That is their reality. It's a
says the guy who believes in a fucking magic la la land in the goddamn clouds after you die and bullshit like that. The guy who believes in heaven in the clouds is saying that we want the utopia. That's what we're looking for. It's not your biblical utopia. It's our whatever. Explain it to us. Explain it to me.
I believe in monsters, so there must be monsters.
Oh, I believe in God, therefore there's it's the fucking the lack of self-awareness here is insanity. One random person in his life said men and women are basically the same. His brain shut the fuck out the basically part. And he's like, nah, look, I've got a penis. They don't have a penis. Like, we're not even close to the same, right? Can we not say that we're basically the same without having to extrapolate and explain all the fucking super obvious differences between us? Are we operating on the kindergarten, like, oh, your pants are brown. Brown's the color of poop. You have poop pants. Oh, you're wearing poop pants. Like, what the fuck? It's so fucking childish. And it's just like these fucking hurdles that they jump to, like, no, I'm right. God said so. I'm right. God said so.
How many women are saying to men who work for them, if you don't sleep with me, you don't get advanced at work?
Again, his example is, how many women are doing this? Women don't do that. Dudes do it all the time, but women don't do that. We are different. Dudes are sexist. They fucking, like, they cannot control their urges, and women are, like, prim and proper. All right? Stop saying that I could maybe be a good, rational, like, non-sexual deviant in my life. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm a man. What do? We fuck. We fuck every goddamn thing that we come across. It doesn't matter. Unless it's a dude, because that's gay. Then we don't do that. That's why men and women are very different. And if you say they're the same, then it makes me feel gay. And I don't like that, alright? That makes me uncomfortable because I'm super hetero. I own fucking guns. Look, dude. I fuck bitches, alright? I'm not gay, okay? It's not even a chance. Not even close. Not even.
It is probably the hardest thing that I know of among humans is for women to understand male sexual nature. Male sexual nature is frightening to women, and I get it.
Male sexual nature is frightening to women? Like when? When you're pinning their arms down and they're saying no and you're like, yes! Otherwise, like, no. What are you doing? What are you doing that makes you feel and think all this shit?
Why do you understand men so well? Said, because I wanted to. That's all it takes. It takes a woman to have the desire to understand men. But
it takes a woman to just submit and listen when I say, look, bitch, this is what men think. This is what we feel. She's like, oh, okay. And I was like, what an open-minded girl. What a super open-minded woman. He could have 1,000 women go, look, you're being sexist. And he could have one woman go, I agree with everything you say. And he goes, well, that's all I needed. That's how I justified my thoughts and feelings and stuff. That works. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. You want to come on a tour?
If there were no moral rules and no police, men would grab women and do what they wanted as a rule. That is the way men are made.
No, he literally just goes, look, chicks, hey, if there were laws telling me that I couldn't grope you, that I can just, like, bend you over the desk whenever the fuck I want, like, that's what I'd be doing all day. You should thank me. You should thank the laws. Appreciate the laws. Because otherwise, that's what I'd do. And it's like, what the fuck? The fuck is wrong with you, bro? What? No. No.
The fact that your man doesn't act that way is because he has been given a set of rules and because he knows that he will be punished. Or just enough that he has these set of rules.
Anyone who wasn't born with a Christian background would just straight up rape anyone. Like, oh my God. Like, nothing is stopping them.
But rules, men know this, and we males, I am one of them, I am male. We know this from a very early age. We can't act out our sexual nature.
No, we can't do it.
It's.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've been acting out my sexual nature in, like, bathrooms and private places since I was maybe 12 years old.
So all these young women go to college, they learn this lie. Oh, you have the same sexual nature as a man. So they act out on it. You're as happy with non-committed, non-emotional sex as males are. So a lot of girls say, oh, yes, I'm just like a guy. I could sleep around just as much as guys want to sleep around. And this is not true for every female. Clearly, I recognize that. But
again, remember, he's about to defend generalizations here in a second. So he's making generalizations and he's trying to like backpedal generalization.
For most, that is not a road to happiness. Whereas for men, it may not be a road for happiness, but it certainly isn't a road to unhappiness.
His point right now, the point he's making right now is that, like, dudes, they just like to fuck, right? And, like, look, maybe it's not their lifelong goal, but they'll never be unhappy along the way of fucking. They can fuck her, fuck her, fuck her, and they have no emotional repercussions involved whatsoever. But girls, they can think they want to, like, fuck anyone. But, like, they'll find out at the end of the day that's very unfulfilling for them. And, you know, it's like we're just so different.
Men are very happy to have women say, oh, I'm just like you. Let's sleep together. But one of the reasons that there is this lie, another lie, that the colleges are a rape culture, I mean, I could prove to you it's a lie, because parents would never send their daughters to a rape culture. Okay, so people say
this
it.
But proof. No one would ever go, hey, daughter, what's up? You want to get an education? Cool. We're going to send you to a rape culture school, right? No one would ever do that. Like, bruh, that's not the conversation, right? The conversation is that there's an environment that literally borderline allows things like that to happen and slip under the rug where people don't face repercussions for it. So the culture is not that everyone rapes, it's that rapes can happen and people will not be held to account. A girl can fear being like defamed or persecuted just in like judgment, where she fears even fucking saying something because there's a stigma of being perceived as a fucking slut or something like that. You don't understand what you're talking about.
So anyway, this is the argument. So a lot of the women, why is it called again a rape culture? Because a lot of women do have a fair amount of sex with different men, and then feel very unhappy about it afterwards, even depressed.
The reason there's a rape culture is because women, some girls like to have sex with guys. What? Dennis, please, please, bro.
A lot of women do have a fair amount of sex with different men.
And they fucking, they're like, I'm so depressed. Look, hey guys, every single one of us, we can all attest to this. We've never, ever fucked a chick or had a night that we've woken up the next day or spent a fair amount of time being like depressed or like, that was a bad choice. We just fucking were like, boom, nailed it. That's what we do. Fucked her, fucked her, fucked her, boom, fucked her, no regrets, boom, fucked her. Oh, fucking, what's God damn it. I was trying to fucking say it. What's the, YOLO. God damn it. There it is. YOLO.
I know, some women
right?
who love it. I have no doubt there are some women who love it.
Hang on.
Feel very
I love how he always has to come to hers. He's like, some women like it, but most, the ones that I personally choose to respect, they're not into that, right? My general mind frame is I would like to believe that the sexual nature of women is submissive and yes, daddy. Tell me what to do, daddy.
It's not been a road to their happiness. There's some
It's
women
not
who
been a road to their. I love how much he speaks for fucking women. You're not happy, right? No, I'm having a great time. No, you're not happy. You're not happy at all. Not even a little bit.
It's not been a road to their happiness.
No.
Are there some women who love it? I have no doubt there are some women who love it. I can never account for everyone. If you have to account for everyone, you will never understand life. You have to be able to make generalizations about most. Seatbelts save lives. Does it save everyone's life in a crash? No. Sometimes people are killed by a seatbelt. But
sometimes seatbelts like hide in your closet when you're asleep in bed, and they come out and like strangle you at night. When you're what the? Sometimes it's a rock that crushes you from above. Seatbelt doesn't even get a chance to save you. What do you do then? Should we have seatbelts from above? Come on. So he obviously is arguing you have to make generalizations so that he can justify and generalize his own personal thoughts and feelings and go, well, every guy feels this way, right? Well, it's okay then.
But the statement seatbelts save lives is accurate. So too, whatever statements I'm making about sexual nature of men versus women.
It's like, that statement's accurate. Therefore, every goddamn thing that has come out of my mouth tonight is the most true shit that's ever been said.
A vast difference is that sex is on males' minds a lot.
So much.
Or as a friend of mine said to me in high school, and he was a religious guy. He came over to me one.
The religious dude. He interjects with that because now that we know he's a religious dude, well, anything he says is obviously like morally objective, right? He wouldn't say it if it weren't okay to say or think or feel. No.
Came over to me one day, Dennis, I did a survey of the guys in our class, and I came to the conclusion that 1 out of every 10 thoughts a guy has is not about sex.
Can you give us some information on this fucking study? What age group did he test this on? Are you comparing your fucking 90-year-old self to like 17-year-olds that he's fucking maybe asking these questions to? Do you consider yourself the same now as then? Like, what the fuck, bro?
If women got a male brain for a day, there would be a lot of reactions. First of all, they would be astonished at how little is going on.
Are you saying you don't think about much? Like, all you think about is sex? Like, they'd just be like, oh my god, it's nothing. I'm not thinking about responsibilities. I'm not thinking about morals and decent humanity. I'm not thinking about trying to be a good person. I'm just thinking about fucking anything. What is this? Is that a couch? I'm gonna fuck it.
Whereas if men got a woman's brain for a day, I think they would shoot themselves. We would not allow them to have access to a weapon because they would probably kill themselves. So much is going on.
I love how Dennis Prager suddenly would argue gun control, if only under the circumstance of men having female brains and feelings for a day.
So they're very different brains, which there's a very funny thing on the internet about a guy talking about the male brain and the female brain, and he walks over to a male, a sculpture of a male head and a sculpture of a female head. By the way, there are so many hilarious...
That's the most funniest shit I've ever heard. Hang on. Let's hear the setup to this joke.
There's a very funny...
very
thing
funny
on the internet about a guy talking about the male brain and the female brain, and he walks over to a male, a sculpture of a male head and a sculpture of a female head. By the way, there are so many hilarious...
Was that it? A funny thing? Is that the joke, Dennis? Finish it! What happened that was funny? You can't just walk up to statues and it be funny. That's not how jokes work down.
so many hilarious things on the internet about male-female differences, and they all resonate to the exact same ideas that I'm talking to you about now because people know it.
No, because you've found jokes that reinforce your personal feelings, and you're like, oh, look at everyone feels. This is where generalizing things, Dennis, can be a little bit of an issue, because you can have a couple assholes on the internet agree with you and go, everyone thinks exactly like me.
Or there's another one, famous one on the how to seduce a woman. Mm-hmm. And it's got a list of like 15 things. Bring her flowers, say nice things, talk about what's on her mind, perhaps stroke her tenderly. The other one, bring food, show up naked. That's it. That's it's not hard. So.
Oh my God. Oh, he's such an old man. This is like, oh my God. Like, email forward fucking shit from the early 2000s, modern day Facebook memes where he's just like, and look, we can all have a good chuckle at that. There's nothing wrong with the fucking meme of like, hey, girls are fucking complicated, right? It's okay to have conversations of differences. It's okay to find humor in differences. It's okay to think that something's more complicated than the other. The point is you don't get to go, oh, we're different. Therefore, I get to be this way. And look, we're different, right? Like, you don't get mad at me. This is just my nature. This is my sexual nature, all right? We're different, okay? Like, he uses these, like, innocent jokes to justify, like, general shitty outlooks and values and just behaviors that it's fucking weird. It's gross.
Why do people put these things out? Because they resonate with real life. That's why.
This is
so. Of course, men think
fuck.
about it more than women. Are there some women who are preoccupied with it? Yes, there are some women.
But
again,
women.
It's like the old seatbelt thing. It's irrelevant for the.
And what he means when he says, "Are there some women who are preoccupied with it?" What he's really saying is, are there some women who are like men, as far as he perceives men to be? Like, are there some women who want to fuck? Like, of course. But they're going to be unhappy. And it's going to make me feel bad.
By the way, I'm open about this because my father was. My father spoke about sex with the ease with which he would speak about the weather.
That's not surprising at all, Dennis.
And
his dad just fucking freely talked about sex around him, and now Dennis is justifying weird sexual. He'll like meet a girl who's like open to fuck, and he's like, this disappoints me. No. You're too into this. No, you'll be unhappy. I don't want to ruin your life. If we do this, you'll be so depressed in the future. I don't want to ruin your life. I'm going to go find someone who doesn't want to do it. And they'll be so much happier afterwards. Like, what point is he trying to make right now? What fucking point is he trying to make right now?
The difference only is he spoke to the family about it, and I speak to millions of people about it. But it's really, I'm sort of a conduit to my father, who taught me it's part of life. Recognize it, control it, but recognize it. And God made us this way.
Dad's like, look, son, get it. You're in a room full of girls. You're just gonna want to whip your dick out and just start going at it, right? It's how men. That's what men want to do. Unfortunately, or fortunately, there are laws that prevent us from doing that.
There's nothing to rebel against. You just have to learn to control it, which is not easy. He would actually sit and he would say, I have one question for God. Why did he make the male sex urge so strong? And my mother was present.
No, see, it sounds like your dad had a problem Like, the fact that he has no self-awareness of, like, it kind of sounds like you're revealing a thing about your father. And your dad saying it that way literally more or less made you think it was acceptable to have this, like, oh, my dad, when I was a kid, talked about how strong male sex drive are. And, like, that's the one mistake God made. Now that I'm 16 years old, I remember my dad saying that, and it's like, oh, I get what you mean now. Things got weird last night. I had control, but, you know, oh, that darn sex drive of ours, you know, shucks. You know, we love God, but that's God's fault, right? That's God's fault. Yeah. Shouldn't have made it so strong, that drive. The drive of ours. He shouldn't have made it so strong. God damn it, God. Sorry. I love you, God.
But he was totally aware of the male sex urge and spoke about it.
His sex urge.
The first
he says the male
is,
sex urge. He loves. See, this is where generalizations fuck him over again as well. He generalizes like the male sex urge without going, this is how my dad felt. Does that mean everyone feels this way? No. His dad just talked to him in a manner and explained his feelings in a way that said everyone feels this way. But you gotta be smarter than that. You gotta have the brain that goes, wait, was that just the way my dad felt?
Women are stimulated by a whole host of things, but for men, the visual is the most powerful. So I get the argument. A woman will call up, what are you talking about? Oh, you don't think that I'm turned on by a really good-looking man? Yes, but it's not comparable. And the only reason women argue with me about this is totally understandably because they don't understand how powerful it is in men. Let's put it this way. There is nothing about a woman that for which there isn't some website. I'll give you a simple one. Just legs. There are no websites of male legs to turn women on.
Hang on. Let's do this right fucking now. Male legs. Sexy celebrity legs. Hot guys in shorts. I mean, literally right off the bat. Men with lovely legs. Pinterest. I mean, come on. Come in. Look at all this. He's asked all of them. Every woman, he's like, are you sexually attracted to men's legs? They're all like, nah, gross. Men's legs?
You can't base relationships on lies. As desirable as the lies may be.
If that lie comes from a like previous generalization that happened and not be true, look, that's unintentional. It's not. I'm not lying. Like I was just mistaken. That's all it is. I thought that's the way I felt, so I thought everyone felt that way. Why? How's that my fault?
And there is no equivalent in women. That's not to say that an unbelievably gorgeous man will not turn a woman on. Of course, obviously.
Wait for it.
But even that shows you the guy has to be unbelievably gorgeous.
Wait for it.
Whereas the woman doesn't have to be unbelievably gorgeous. She basically has to breathe. And so that's there's no comparison.
That wasn't even what I was saying. Wait for it for. I forgot he said that. She's just gotta breathe. Look, is she moving? No. Is she responsive? No. Is she breathing? Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. The fuck is this guy saying?
Why did you fall in love with him? Very few will say because he's gorgeous. Very few will say, well, because he was...
Again, revealing. Like, all of his friends are like, why'd you marry that bitch? Cause she's fucking hot. Duh. Yeah, oh, she's dumb as bricks. Don't get me wrong, but Do you see how fucking hot she is? Worth it. Am I right, bros? Fist bump, fist bump, fist bump.
Okay? Now, it helps.
Okay, exactly.
I have no doubt about that. It's better to be good looking if you're a man than not good looking. I totally get that. By the way, most really good looking men are gay, so they're out of the picture for women.
There
anyway.
it is. That was the moment. That was the moment I was waiting to build this up to. Most good looking men, they're fucking gay as fuck. Super gay. Super gay. Every fucking handsome dude this dude's met, he's like, let me guess. You wanna fuck my butt? And he's like, yeah, I do, bro. God damn it. How'd you know? He's like, well, you're just so handsome. He's like, I can't hide it. I'm trying to look like I'm straight, but my handsomeness just gives away my homosexuality so fucking quickly and abruptly that I can't trick people. What the fuck?
So this is the way it works.
That's the way it works.
By the way, since I've gone through all of this with women who've disagreed with me, I know all the arguments.
I love that he acknowledges that there are women that disagree with him out there, but he's just like, meh. Your perspective is meh. Your perspective is meh. Then he finds a girl who's like, I accept that men are dominant. And he's like, oh, you get it? Thank you.
I'm saying every man watching, unless he has been truly brainwashed to believe what women believe, knows what I'm saying is true.
You hear what he just told us? We're not sexually aggressive because we've been brainwashed by women. It's a bold statement, Dennis. That's a bold statement.
I know this because I get mail from men. The men call me up.
He gets mail from men who reinforce his opinion, and he's like, I'm right. I'm super right. I'm so right. Look at this guy agrees with me. That dude agrees with me. That dude, oh, this guy disagrees with me. Fuck him, stupid idiot. What a moron.
I could not be happily married if I had to hide my nature from my wife. You are close to a person if you can say everything about yourself to them.
Oh, I hadn't made it this far in the video yet. That was some shit he just dropped right there, right? He just said, like, I wouldn't get along with my wife if she wasn't okay with, like, my sexual, like, weirdness. The approach is insane, right? And it's just unawareness of, like, everyone's gonna get what I'm saying, right? Yeah, there's no way this could possibly be misinterpreted in any way, right? Everyone's cool. Steve on the camera. Bill, you heard everything I said. Everything's good. Honey, wife, you're over the... She's like shivering in the corner, like terrified that he's even talking to her, you know? Like, no, that's great, honey. He's like, oh, okay, cool. We're good to go then. Yep. Everyone feels this way. Yeah.
And I know this from talking to any number, I mean, thousands of men, that they don't let their wife know what they think sexually because they're afraid of her reaction. She'll say, you're sick.
I'm so excited I could finally hear a man speak that was like, hey, do you want to like be an aggressor towards women, but it's just not socially acceptable? Well, we're the place for you. You want to justify and feel okay about your thoughts and feelings? All right, here you go. Come listen to us talk. You'll feel better because there's more like you, and we're okay. God told me. He told us. He said it's okay in the Bible, where he was like, "Look at that girl. You see she's hot. Boom, perfect. That's all we need."
But it's not sick. It's completely normal.
So normal.
Sick is molesting a child. That's
super
sick.
sick.
I agree. There is sickness in this world. There's plenty of it.
I agree with that.
But it's
good
sexual
job,
nature.
Dennis. Way to put your foot down. Dennis agrees that molesting children is inappropriate. Oh, oh, Jesus, we need to bring in music and like the fucking marching band and shit. Look at it. What a bold statement to make. Oh my God, Dennis.
Sick. It is normal. Doesn't mean you can act on it all the time. Of course you can't. But
wait. He just went from molesting a child is not acceptable. Hang on.
sick is molesting a child. That's sick.
Okay.
I agree. There is sickness in this world. There's plenty of it. But its male sexual nature is not sick. It is normal. Doesn't mean you can act on it all the time. Of course.
That's a weird like jump to make, right? From molesting a child is not okay, but male sexual nature is not something to be embarrassed about, but it's not something you can act on all the time. Like, it legit sounds like he's thought about it or he knows people and he's trying to like justify and like rationalize it, like, well, I get it.
I'm so open about this. I'll tell you a line I tell my wife, which is she gets a big kick out of, and I do. Out of nowhere, we'll be driving in the car and I'll say, you know, the last thing on your mind is the first in mine. And we both crack up, and she knows I'm not talking about, medieval Belgian history, which is not the first thing on my mind, generally speaking, even if I'm in Belgium.
The lack of awareness is just like fucking dumbfounding. Like, he's like, we'll be on a road trip with the kids, and he's like, babe, guess what I'm thinking about? Fucking you. Guess what you're not thinking about? Fucking me. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? It's like, no. And first thing on my mind, I don't mean like Belgium history.
Dum 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 dum.
Wait. Oh, fuck.
Left.
I passed something. Hang on. I gotta turn the volume up here. Tell me if he farts right here.
That is their reality. It's an extremely immature.
Right, he stops talking for a split second, and there's a toot sound.
That is their reality. It's an extreme.
I don't know. It might be the leather chair. But it seems like he pauses just enough.
That is their reality. It's an extremely immature.
Like, he goes, it's a, and then he can finally spit out what he says. So it kind of feels like, to some extent,